Om. Om. Sairam, everyone. Just to recollect what we were discussing at the last session 2 weeks ago, Swami has introduced the concept of Ananya Chintana, thinking of the Lord without any other distraction, any other thought. And of course, Swami says it is so simple, but you all are unable to do. If you cannot offer this, what else can you offer? And I think we discussed quite a bit, but I think there were so many points raised by Swami. I don't think we exhaustively covered. So I'll ask the sisters to read from where we left off last week. Saira.
Saram. Those who are prompted by genuine desire for the fruit must overcome all obstacles and temptations, doubts and disappointments, and dwell on the thought of the Lord. Then the Lord will not keep apart. He will confer on that sadhaka the status of sameness described as Aham Brahmasmi. I am you, you are I, we are one. And the sadhaka will be contemplating this unity without break. This is referred to as Ananya Bhava. Arjuna asked, you say that the Ananya Bhava, this Ananya Bhakti is quite easy and that there is no need to take any greater trouble. You also declare that for those who have acquired it, you are readily attainable. Well, what exactly is the benefit of attaining you? Krishna smiled at this and replied, Arjuna, what greater benefit is there than that? That holy victory makes mortal man a Mahatma. You may still pose the question of what benefit is it to become a Mahatma? Listen, the Mahatma is far superior to the ordinary man. The latter is established in the body and the jiva. He identifies himself with the body and with breath, with the particular, the wave. So he is tossed about by joy and grief. He arises or falls with each experience. Between snatches of calm and storm, he reels under many a blow.
Thank you, sister. Maybe we'll read the Telugu also and then discuss it. Saira Manti.
Saira. అట్టి ఆశయే అట్టి ఆశయే నిజముగా ఉన్న మై వాయిస్ ఇస్ బ్రేకింగ్ టుడే ప్లీజ్ ఎక్స్క్యూజ్ మీ అట్టి ఆశయే నిజముగా ఉన్న అట్టి సాధకుడు తన సాధనకు ఎన్ని ఇక్కట్లు కలిగినను ఎన్ని విధముల నిరాశలు సంభవించినప్పటికీ విసుగు వెసరపాటు దట్స్ టూ మచ్ ఇస్ ఇట్ ఐ థింక్ అట్టి ఆశయే నిజముగా ఉన్న అట్టి సాధకుడు.
So the sadhaka, the aspirant who has that desire, the real desire.
తన సాధనకు ఎన్ని ఇక్కట్లు కలిగినను,
any amount of troubles, obstacles which may he face in his sadhana,
ఎన్ని విధముల నిరాశలు సంభవించినప్పటికీ,
how many ever disappointments which may occur,
విసుగు వెసరపాటు చేరనీయక,
he will not give room for either doubt or disappointment or
సర్వదా అనన్య చిత్తముతో సదా సర్వదా చింతించుచుండను.
he will think of the Lord without any other thought, always in all circumstances.
అట్టివానికి భగవంతుడు అనన్యముగా ఉండక
For such a person, the Lord will not only he will be separate or not
అనన్యముగా
Ananya.
అనన్యముగా తదాత్మ స్వరూపుడై
he will become himself.
ఆ,
Sariyati,
తానే నేను నేనే తాను
you are I am you.
అను స్థితిని అనగా అహం బ్రహ్మాస్మి అనుసంధానమును నిత్యం నిరంతరము కలిగించుచుండును.
It's a state of Aham Brahmasmi, I am God. That feeling, that experience will be always, without any break, will be obtained.
అట్టి స్థితినే అనన్య భావమని కూడాను అందరు.
That state is also called Ananya Bhava.
అని కృష్ణ భగవానుడు వచించెను.
Thus Krishna said.
Should I read the whole thing or?
I think in English they're a little more, auntie.
Okay. అప్పుడు అర్జునుడు స్వామి అనన్య భక్తి చాలా సులభమనియో వేరు శ్రమలు పడనక్కర్లేదనియో అంటిరి.
Then Arjuna said, "Oh Lord Krishna, you said the Ananya Bhakti is very easy and one need not take any other trouble, and you are stating thus."
అంతే కాక అట్టి వారికి నేను కూడాను సులభుడనే అంటిరి కదా.
And not only that, you said that for such people, you yourself are also easily attained.
మీరు సులభలైన సాధకునకు వచ్చు లాభమేమి?
To attaining you so easily, what is the benefit of that?
దాని వలన సాధకుడు ఏ విధమైన ఫలమును అనుభవించునో తెలుపుడు.
Through that, what type of fruits or results will the aspirant experience? Please explain.
అని ప్రశ్నించినాడు. క్వశ్చన్.
Thus he asked him.
దానికి కృష్ణ పరమాత్మ చిరునవ్వు నవ్వి,
so for that Krishna Paramatma smiled.
బావా, భగవత్ ప్రాప్తి వలన ఫలమేమని అడుగుటలో అర్థం లేదు.
Oh my brother-in-law, there is no point in asking what you attain by attaining the Lord.
ఇక అంతకంటే వేరు గొప్ప ఫలమేమున్నది?
What other fruit or result is there in this world? Is there?
అట్టి పవిత్ర ప్రాప్తి వలనే పామరుడైన మానవుడు మహాత్ముడగుచున్నాడు.
Through this divine attainment, the ordinary person will become a Mahatma.
అని తిరిగి నీకు సంశయం కలుగవచ్చు. మహాత్ముడైన ఫలమేమి?
So you may get another doubt. What is the point? What is the benefit of becoming a Mahatma?
అని తిరిగి నీకు సంశయం కలుగవచ్చు.
You may get another doubt like that.
విను, మానవునకు మహాత్మునకు చాలా భేదములు కలుగు.
Listen, there is a lot of difference between a man and a Mahatma.
మానవుడు జీవభావమును దేహభావమును పొంది,
the man, he will identify himself with either jiva
or the
deha or the body.
అందువలన కలుగు సుఖ దుఃఖములకు కృంగిపోవుట.
So because of that, all the happiness and sorrows will affect him.
అశాంతి ప్రశాంతులకు మధ్య గల అనేక కష్టములకు గురి అవుచుచున్నాడు.
So between the peacelessness and peace, he will be a target for many difficulties.
మహాత్ముడు అట్లా కాదు. అతనికి దేహభావము జీవభావము పూర్తిగా నశించి
Mahatma is not like that. For him, the identification with the body or identification with the jiva will be completely destroyed.
బ్రహ్మభావమే పొంది ఉండును.
You will only have identification with the Brahman.
అట్టి మహాత్ముని ఆత్మ
Such the Atma of such a Mahatma
పరిచిన్నమై ఉండును. పరిచిన్న.
Parichiname ante auntie.
Last time we saw it, no, it's not separated. I mean,
No,
Atma, he is separate. He
not broken or something, no?
not undivided.
Undivided. It will remain undivided. Yes.
That's
It
it.
is undivided.
He is not identifying with the body or with the
He will
jiva.
not have duality.
Duality.
Duality. Sense of oneness.
Oneness is there. Mahatma.
Okay, thank you very much, auntie. So I think we can now go to discussing this. I think there's little more, I guess, auntie.
Oh.
I think that's all. I think that's fine.
అంతఃకరణములో రజోగుణము రజోతమము.
Yeah, you know, that's next part.
Different. It is different.
So I will stop here. Anyone who would like to discuss? So Swami has introduced Ananya Bhava, which he says will result in Aham Brahmasmi experience, that I am God. And once we attain that, we will not be affected by any happiness or sorrow. We will not show that also. So if anyone would like to share any thoughts, please go ahead, Saira.
Uncle. The first line, how it's translated in English, it says those who are prompted by genuine desire for the fruit. But I think when you translated it, you were saying the sadhaka that has that real desire.
So Swami has used the word nija. Okay, nijamaina asa. Okay, so the atti asaye nijamuga unna means if such a desire exists in reality, something of that sort.
So is it the desire for God?
That desire for God. Yeah, because before that sentence, Swami tat palitamaina prapti matram
అధికముగా కావాలి.
asantu. They will desire, for that Lord with such earnestness. So
I see.
Yeah, so Swami says tapistura, tapinchuta takkuva, before that is saying.
He was talking about tamasic people.
Yes.
People who want everything, who want the fruit, but they don't put in effort.
So that yearning, if that such a yearning exists in reality in a sadhaka, that's the way Swami is writing. He says atti asaye nijamuga unna
సాధకుడు
atti sadhakudu.
తన సాధన ఎన్ని ఇక్కట్లు కలిగినను, whatever obstacles come, he will only desire to have that Bhagavan's, he dwells upon the thought of the Lord.
So would you say that prompted by genuine desire for the fruit, that's not really it?
No, genuine desire, that genuine desire for the Lord.
Okay.
So I think if we go back to the previous paragraphs, so Swami is referring to that, which is having that undivided attention on the Lord. And Swami has said that such a person only will reach me. So that means that is the goal.
So brother, that is the one is described in the last sentence on the second paragraph too. Attaining you are readily attainable.
Yes, exactly.
That's what it is, right? That's the fruit of that.
That is a desire.
That could be, yeah. Thank you, sir.
I think we shouldn't have put the word fruit. So I think, the Lord is the fruit. I guess everyone is in an Ananya Chinta mode. Looks like.
This the whole. I have a question.
Yes, Auntie.
This one is not in English translation.
It is there, Auntie. It's mentioned, but it's just that the first sentence slightly, the translation is slightly differs from the original Telugu, because
Oh,
the first sentence basically is mentioning a genuine desire for a fruit. But in the Telugu, Swami says, sadhaka who has that genuine desire, there's no fruit. The desire is to attain the Lord. That's what was described in the previous paragraphs. And
okay.
so that person will cultivate what's called ananya bhava. They will only think of the Lord. I think even in common man, if somebody desires so badly, they can't think of anything else other than that object. It happens for human beings also. So the same way the Lord, so Swami is saying that kind of a devotion one should have for the Lord, attaining the Lord.
So how to get that kind of devotion? Is it just you get it by yourself, or is there a way to get it?
Okay, I think that's a very good question, Auntie. I will open it up for how do we cultivate? Can we cultivate this desire? That kind of desire. I think that's the question.
Yes.
Why don't we have that? I think that's the question is, why don't we have that, and how do we cultivate?
We are more worried about the objective pleasure of the world. We are not concentrating. The whole mind is on that. The desires which we have is only in the objective world. We want all the things for ourselves to enjoy, but that is very, it is very impermanent. That we should understand. Only the interest in Bhagawan is the permanent way of getting it.
Thank you, Auntie. Thank you. Anyone else would like to?
But in the human form, it is not easy to live like a jnani, live like a ascetic, because in a human form, how to attain towards this goal of understanding or realizing the perfect divine.
Okay.
Because I'm a human being, I would like to know, while living in this life, how to go towards that path to attain to that nirvana, or that goal of realizing divine power. It is all right for an ascetic to go to give up everything, go and sit in a forest or a cave and think all the time. But it's not possible for us.
So Auntie is saying that it's not.
Sairam.
Sairam, thank you. So is it not possible for us?
Yeah.
For ascetics, it is possible. Why are ascetics ascetics? That's another question we can ask. But why are we not falling into that category? Is it because we are just normal human beings?
because we have a lot of desire. We are just taken up by the five senses, which is really pushing us to live our life. But when you go as an ascetic, at least they have controlled some of the senses. Seeing, hearing, tasting, then sense of touch, smelling. Now, if they give up all the tasty food, if they are not allured by whatever they see, I want to buy that, I want to buy this, I want to buy that. So they are controlling the five senses. Then from that stage, they can sit and always think of God, 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 God. And probably that will really help them to go to that level. But while we are enamored by the five senses and we are turning towards the outside more than inside, then there's one sentence I feel it doesn't make sense that we are going to attain to that level. But if there's a way, then we can follow that path. Sairam.
Sairam, thank you. Anyone else would like to share your thoughts? Yes, Brother Dasan.
Yes, Saram, brother. So first of all, we have to understand there's no difference between God and ourselves. That only problems we don't realize that one because we are in the duality mode. In order to do that one, the mind is the problem. So the karma is that one. Everyone knows the word source deeds. The time that the earth is created, universe is created, the karma is created by the Lord. So, and we are divine sparkle, we are allocated some jobs. So when we are doing the work, karma, we are not supposed to have any desire and attachment. That is the time you trapped into that one, the cycle of the birth, death, and the life. So not causing the karma, that behind the karma is bind to the attachment and the desire. If you can understand that one, I'm not the doer, so I'm not supposed to fall into the attachment and the desire. Don't cling to the action. Then you think about God and surrender everything yourself, and you think God is the one doing everything. In that state, you will see, forget about the duality, and you will see oneness that time. This is the way you can achieve the goal. Thank you.
Thank you,
I
brother.
have a question. Now, in this, you said karma is created by Lord. How is karma created by Lord other than we create our own karma?
So, brother, can I answer for that?
Yes.
So, what is karma? Words, thoughts, deeds. When the Lord started to think about to create this universe, that time's created by the Lord. The karma is created by the Lord. So then when we are doing the work, we should not think that we are doing the work. When you think about that you are the one doer, then that's a time you are affected by the cycle. If you don't think that you are not the doer because you are into the Maya delusion, if we come out from the delusion that I am the one doing, because we all divine sparkle, that's no different. Then you think that you are the one doer because already God taking everything, good and bad, he's taking. Why you are thinking that you are the one doer? Then that's what Lord Krishna talked to Arjuna. Don't think that you are the one doer. Then you will be attain moksha. If you do your duty with love and everything, whatever allocated, don't worry about that, what is going to be happen after this action. When you are instrument of the God's hand, that's what you have to think about. Thank
I
you.
think,
So when you,
so, excuse
so
me,
do
I
do
think,
I
you know,
understand? Sorry.
Sairam, I'm sorry to, I think, you know, at the moment we are discussing about Ananya Bhava. I think karma is out of syllabus at the moment for this chapter where
Yeah,
we
and
don't understand. Okay, so I think we will park that. I think Swami will address that. But I think the question you asked is very, you know, why are we unable to develop Ananya Bhava? Okay, why are we, our mind, why is it running away with other desires? I think that's the question you asked. Can we attain that? And how do we
while
attain
we
that?
are,
How do we
yes,
attain that? How do we
while we are
attain the
living,
desire? How do we attain the desire? I think that's a pertinent question because we are still on the first paragraph, first line. Those are prompted by genuine desire for that, for attaining the Lord. How do we develop that desire? Genuine desire.
Saramana.
I
Yes.
would like to I would like to add to that what you said. One said, while we are living this life, we should attain that desire for God. But while we are living, then why is it that 7.1 billion people are not attaining?
Okay, it's okay. I don't know, but 7.1, we can just discuss, I guess, with ourselves first, I guess.
Yeah, but if
Yeah.
it is that
So,
easy, everybody will get it now.
but Krishna is
But
saying it is easy. So we'll have to give him some validity. I will ask Brother Sai Satish. Brother Sai Satish, you had something to say.
Yeah, Saramana. So, if we see the story of Parikshit in Bhagavata Vahini, Swami clearly writes when Lord Krishna comes to Hastinapura, and for the first time, Parikshit sees the face of Lord Krishna and immediately realizes that nothing else is to be sought but the Lord. What the baby does, this is just a baby. So it keeps going straight to Lord Krishna every time, and Lord Krishna tries to have Nakula, Sahadeva, all of them distract the child with the toys. But every time they try to distract the child, it pushes away all the toys. It keeps looking for Lord Krishna, even if he is hiding behind a pillar or a curtain. Goes straight up to the Lord, holds the hem of his Pitambar and asks that he be lifted up. So that is for me Ananya Bhakti or Ananya Bhava, because there is no Anya Bhava other than the Lord. Just every time any distraction comes, it is like from many to one and one to none. When many desires are there, we push away all those desires with the one singular desire, that is to attain the Lord or to always remember the Lord. And finally, when we come to that stage, that one desire also, like what we had discussed earlier, thorn with a thorn, that also goes away. So we become that absolute stage of or state of desirelessness where we become one with the God. Now, the thing is, how do we do that? It is by abhyasa, it is by practice. For anything in life, like Swami used to tell, eating practice, writing practice, reading practice, sleeping, everything we got in our life, even our sitting, standing, all of that was through practice. If for basic things we had to put so much time and effort to perfect it so that I can walk so simply today, what I take walking, as a few months old, I struggled and struggled and struggled, and then finally got what is walking. Likewise, if it is for just something as trivial, we take it as walking or sitting, came by day after day of practicing, falling, getting up, where our parents would, mother would stand on other side, father would stand on other side and call us, and then we go. If for as simple thing as that, it needs so much of practice, then what about the highest? Obviously, again, it is through that ultimate practice where we keep doing it again and again. How much time during the day do I give it to Swami? I give everything value. Do I give value to myself, or do I value the time I give to Swami? So that practice, if I do day on day and keep increasing the duration, it initially starts maybe 5 minutes, 10 minutes. But with time, as we keep doing it again and again, that duration will keep increasing. And then it will come to a stage where even when we do other things, our mind is still fixed on the Lord. But till we reach that stage, we have to keep practicing. So there is nothing other than Abhyasa Yoga, and we have to keep doing it time and again. Of course, God's grace is always there. He can give it in a trifle if he wants to. But from our side, we need to put in the effort. And that is why we say Satsangatve, Nisangatvam, Nisangatve, Nirmohatvam, Nirmohatve, Nishalatatvam, Nishalatatve, Jivanmukti. So it's like first you have to go Satsanga. We have to get into that Satsanga, this company, keep reminding holy men, holy books, holy company. And then from there, go to a state of being in solitude, and then all the way up to knowing or becoming one with the God. So it is through human effort coupled with God's grace. And it will need that human effort to go from many desires to one desire, and from one desire to become desire. Sai Ram.
Thank you very much, Sai Satish. So just to, I will try to, the thing is, you say Abhyasa, practice is needed, so that we will develop the ability to think of the Lord all the time. So while listening to you, I was thinking, by practice, do we get a desire? That's the question which will come. I asked myself, and one of the answers I got is, when a child, is not introduced to solid food, the mother will try hard, try to make the child eat some solid food. The child will refuse and refuse. The mother will tell this story, that story, and somehow get the child to eat. But then after a couple of months or few years, the mother will not be able to make this child stop eating. Their desire for food will become so much, then we have to go on the other way. So I think, so it is a matter of, it's a cultivated taste, cultivated desire, just the way a child is learned to eat. So I think that's what I sort of understood from what you said. I hope anyone else has something to say.
Brother, before we move on, can we discuss about the last paragraph too, please? Because Mahatma is a
Sister, we are in the first line.
yes. So
We are in
okay,
this sentence only.
okay, that's
Top
fine. Then.
sentence.
I'll wait until that time. Thank you, Saira.
Okay. Yes, brother. I think brother Varadhan.
Saram, I know this is very difficult, but it is attainable. Like Brother Sai Savisha, this is why like to practice abhyasa. This is also a very long process. We have to eliminate things that's something we don't need it. We took it many things that really we don't need it, but we took it. That's how the desires grow. Rather we think it, okay, this is we don't need it, we don't need it. We just focus on one thing, and then this is attainable. What is a long process? I don't say this is you can do it in a day or two, within a week, but this definitely, if you believe this one, you can do it. That's what this is my humble opinion. Thank you, Sai.
Thank you very much, brother. Yes, brother Thasan.
Yeah, I want to put in a nutshell, brother. So, Swami came and taught about the 9-point code of conduct. Are we following that one? Swami taught this Kali Yuga, that Namasvarnam and the selfless service is important. Even the same question Arjuna asked Lord Krishna, a lot of people don't understand, they are ignorant. So Lord Krishna said, they have to find the root of the jnana. Otherwise, they have to go through the cycle of birth and death. They have to step into that one. They have to understand that one. Clearly, Baba said, You have to follow this one. Are you following this one? These are the questions you have to ask. If without asking any this kind of question, if you don't practice, you are not going to attain anywhere. Thank you, brother Sairam.
Sister Shivani?
Sairam, when Brother Sai Satish was explaining that, what came to my mind is the analogy of the child and the mother. You know how a child learns to jump or walk? The child has full faith on their parents when they are saying, oh, you can walk, get up, or you are on the bed, jump at me, and they extend their hands. The child has full faith on their parents that they will save me. If they are saying jump, initially the child might have some hesitation, but with full faith develop on their parents, child will just jump and leap. Second thing is, what I remember somewhere along in the past, we have read in Geetha Vahini, Swami has said, Lord Krishna, you will have doubts. You will have those doubts, but keep moving on. It should not stop you in your faith, in your progress on the spiritual. Keep doing sadhana, or what we are talking about, those desires. Yes, I will. Once thou shalt, it has said it will work. You have to do, it will work. So it just reminds me of those what we have read in the past. Let doubt come, but it should not stop in your journey to continue on the spiritual path. Side.
Thank you, sister. Anyone else has something to? I think, see, when talking about this, I'm reminded of the verse in Bhagavad Gita where Krishna says how desire comes about. Dhyayato vishayan pumsaha sangat sanjayate kamaha. Okay, see, by contemplating on something, we develop some sort of a connection, sangam. I think which is what Sai Satish talked about, satsangatve. And through that, actually, desire comes about. So, thinking of the Lord again and again can bring about desire for the Lord. But talking about desire, I think everyone is an adult. They from a child, or maybe an adolescent, somebody would see another person of the opposite gender, and they will fall in love. It is not that they were practicing anything. They see somebody and they fall in love, and they can only think of that person. This is an experience, and the desire will grow day by day. And there is no 9-point code of conduct which we have to practice, no karma, nothing. We are just, fascinated, infatuated, and thinking about that person day and night. Because that is only then, see, that's why Krishna says that is genuine desire. Unfortunately for us, we say, oh, Swami is God, he is omnipresent, everything. And then we forget. We are omni-absent, we just completely forget, So that's why I think Swami has used the word Nijamaina Asha. It means, do you really mean what you say? If we really believe that Swami is divine, Swami is God, there's nothing else in this world which comes anywhere close. If we really believe in our deepermost heart, nothing else will distract us. Because once you give the heart, that's why it's called Chitta Chora. Once we lose our heart to that form, to that idea that this is the Lord, this is the most important thing. I have to have this, and I will not delay it any further. That kind of earnestness, if somebody has, they will naturally have Ananya Bhava. No need to practice. Because we, in our own life, we have not practiced, having desire. Though, some of the desire is cultivated. It is just that we make statements, but we don't mean it. We really don't believe it. Swami will say, empty words, uttamatala cheta satta chitta anandam antad. If you say empty words, they will not grant you sat chit ananda. Though we see, God, Swami is everything, is God. If we believe, then nothing should distract us, I think. But we really have to go back and ask ourselves, what do we really mean what we say? Those are some thoughts. I will stop here. If anyone has something to add.
Anna, I was
So,
just yeah, sorry, Auntie, after you.
now you go ahead.
Okay, thanks, Auntie. I was just going to say Swami would use that Telugu lines. He would say, Korene dediyo, korene koritivi. And it goes on, adigine dediyo, adigine adigitivi. So it is like what you're asking, keep asking repeatedly. What Koredi ante, like, yeah, I think in terms of korikalu desire, what you're desiring for, have that kind of strong asking for that. Yeah. Sorry, Auntie.
Wish.
Yeah, wish, correct, Andy. Yeah, thank you for that. So whatever you're wishing for or whatever you're asking for, you should ask with that intensity that either out of disgust, the God should give it to you, or you should give up your life asking for it. That is the intensity which Swami has told about having that wish or desire, what the intensity with which we ask of a boon from God, or ask of himself itself. That is the way Swami would say you should ask with that intensity. So like what Anna was mentioning earlier also, if we can ask of that, of the Lord, for the Lord, with that intensity, then I think it becomes Ananya Bhava.
Auntie Shivam, you wanted to say something?
Yeah. So now what you said is right. That intensity of desiring to see divine God. But as human beings, can you tell me a method to get to that intensity? Please, Sairam.
Can I share an experience here? I know it's this
Okay.
group is, I'm so comfortable. It's just, I think I have shared in the past. My one of my cousin migrated here like 10 years ago. I don't know why, the value he practiced or whatever. Whenever I used to meet with him, it's a very weird feeling, not a very good feeling. And now, on the other hand, I'm reading also on his literature and all of that, how you practice your love and all of that. It was such a big conflict. And I'm going to talk about the intensity. And I said, no, this has to. I mean, my Lord has said you have to love. And you know what? I will help you if you ask me exactly, Brother Sai Satish. So it should work. What not? Maybe 7, 8, 9 months. I just kind of visualized that person, Bhagawan and me. And I was keep asking him as if he's giving me that love to pass on to that person intensely, like, on Thursdays, whenever I'm sitting, give me so much love that I should not get that feeling. Lo behold, once I distinctly remember on one Thursday, I'm sitting in the bhajans and still praying, and all my tears, like I'm just as if, the buckets of water is flowing. And I'm saying, why? And I felt so much love for that person, so much love. It has been 5 years since that incident happened. That to the point when he was just kind of changing houses, I said, you can live with me for a month, where I couldn't stand. And I'm inviting him, when you are in transitioning from one house to another, please come and live with me. It's just why I'm sharing is it, as brother said, when you ask with full pure intensity, he's such Sulabha Prasannayanama. It's so easy to please him. He will give. He will never reject his child, because that's his focus, is that we lift. That's why he came down to uplift us. So we will never get disappointed. Just to share a little experience.
Thank you very much, sister. Thank you. I think I will go back to, I think it's maybe it's out of this. Actually, it's in Ramakatha Rasvayani. Shabari, who was actually a great devotee of Rama, who was waiting for Rama every day. When Rama comes, she asks the question, "Oh Rama, how do I cultivate devotion?" That's irony. But Sri Rama tells the Navavida Bhakti. Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam. So these are the steps which Rama himself has given. Spend time listening about the Lord, glory of the Lord. Sing the names of God. Try to remember Him. I think those are the various steps through which one day you become the final stage of Atma Nivedanam, offering oneself. This theory, Auntie, but I think as that's what Sai Satish was telling, we should spend time thinking of the Lord, reading about the Lord, hearing about the Lord, rather than anything of the world. Dhyayato Vishyan, wherever our mind is dwelling, that is where we establish a sangam, a connection. And I think once the connection is slowly formed, I think a desire will slowly grow. And one day it will become raging fire, I guess. Is my understanding. But I will stop here if anyone else would like to share.
So,
I
Sairam,
want,
brother. Okay, Auntie, go ahead.
I want to know, Swami, I have not read a lot of Sai Baba's books, but I have gone into other books of spirituality. Does he introduce meditation? Has he, I mean, through meditation, can we get to that level of which will lead us to that nirvana?
Good
I
question.
just wanted to know
No,
whether
Auntie, it's a very good question because I think everyone here studied Dhyana Vahini. Before we took up Geetha Vahini, we all studied Dhyana Vahini. And actually Swami has covered this. But this is actually a revision. Dhyana Vahini, you could read Dhyana Vahini, Auntie. And where Swami has given a lot of importance to what is Dhyana, preparations for Dhyana, how regularly it should be done, and so on.
so he says the word meditation, that is
Yes.
dhyana?
Dhyana, yes.
Oh, okay, thank you.
And anyone who remembers things from Dhyana Vahini can share.
Yes, Sairam, brother. So, I can relate this one to Ananya Bhava too. So, the mind is the big the player here. Whatever you give to the mind, it'll think about that one. If you give gold, the mind will think about gold. If you think about house, it'll think about all the time house. If you give more about the Lord, the mind will think about the Lord all the time. For meditation, you need only the one form and the one name that will take you to the Ananya Bhava. Thank you. Sairam.
What is Ananya Bhava?
Ananya Bhava means, Auntie, Anya means something foreign. Ananya means nothing foreign. So no other thought other than the Lord.
No, okay. Thank you. Thank you very much.
So I think we have beaten Ananya Bhava quite a bit, I guess. Without any other thought, we were talking about Ananya Bhava. So we will go on to the next paragraph, I guess, if it's okay.
So there was a question, I was waiting for the answer all this time. There was a question, right? How you will see that Ananya Bhakti, or you will know that you are reached to that level or something like that. So I was waiting for the discussion and see anybody's coming with the answer for that.
Asking how will we know that we have
Ananya Bhakti mean how the state of mind, how you will behave, how do you know that you have reached at that level, or somebody can see it, or it's within only that particular individual knows. No, that's something I thought in the discussion we have taken
asking,
up. Yeah.
How will I know I am sleeping?
Okay, so I won't come to know that. So Ananya Bhakti, you will behave the only with a desire of God. You will serve with the mind of serving Swami, everything in your karma, anything that you do, you keep your Lord in your mind. That is Ananya Bhakti. Yeah, I don't know. I'm just asking. Right? Ananya Bhakti, it's kind of, you are living in the world, right? So whatever you do things, you keep it in mind, the Lord, and
If
doing
we are
it.
living in the world, sister, we are not Ananya.
Oh, okay. So that's what I was trying to understand here. So in the living in the world itself, when you think like that itself is not Ananya.
Unless you see the world as God.
That's the thing. So everything that you do with the serving Lord, then it comes as an Ananya. Right? Anything that you do.
So Sairam brother, maybe I'm wrong or right. So end of the goal is you will see oneness. Everything you will see there's no different, there's no duality. Thank you.
See, I think there is some sannyasis, if they see a dog, they will say, "Hey, Rama, why did you take this form now?" If they see a cat, they will say, "Oh Rama, why are you cat now? What is this form?" So everything they will see, yes, only that Rama. Okay, so you see somebody, oh, why Swami is talking to me like this? Somebody may scream at you and you will say, why is Swami talking to me like this? If somebody smiles at you, or Swami is smiling at me, So I think it will go to that extent. Swami will say it's a pitchy, it's kind of madness.
That's hard.
Thank you, brother. I just try to understand that. Okay, thank you. Now I know.
Swami has spoken about it also, but I am just paraphrasing. But I think we will move on. Otherwise I will be quoting from places where then that will become a tangential discussion. Okay.
Okay, thank you. But
anything else which anyone wants to discuss?
Sairam, in the second paragraph where Arjuna is asking what exactly is the benefit of attaining you, I feel like when you do get a doubt, like, oh, like I'm giving up certain things, I'm giving up a certain happiness, and like if I don't, like if you have this doubt that what if this is not enough, what if the Lord is actually what the efforts you're making in sadhana is not actually going to give you the happiness that you're thinking or that you want. If you have those kind of doubts, like what do you do? How do you overcome?
Okay, good doubt, Kalyani. I will ask. So, how do we overcome any doubts? I think that's what Kalyani is asking, which may crop up. Sometimes we can even ask, Swami, everyone says he's God, but is he really God? That itself can become a doubt. He's saying this, do I want to really follow this? So those also can be doubts of all kinds can come. I think Kalyani is asking, how do we deal with it? Am I right, Kalyani?
Yeah.
I will open it up for any comments from anyone.
This Sairam, the doubts may arise, but it should arise in the very beginning. But when you move along the path to reach the destination, and if you started doubting in the 3/4 way or closer to the destination, then even if you put all your time, effort, and the heart and everything to that, the work or in that effort, it may not be successful because you started doubting in every single step. Once you can have doubt, once you have clear out of that the doubt, then you must be really firm in the faith That's why the Swami has already indicated in several of his discourses that the one of the most important criteria, we have to have utmost faith, and maybe in the other, maybe the first paragraph when we discuss, we also address that part. We have to have the faith, and Brother Sai Sadish and Sister Sivani, they most nicely explain, the child, when we toss them away, the child, they will get really the faith in their parents. They will catch it, they would, that sort of firm, they faith we should be having at any stage. God will save us, or God will direct us in the right path. That sort of the faith should be having this one, that would help us to get the grace of God to reach the destination. That's my humble opinion. Thank you, Saira.
Sister Brother
Right.
Varadhan, did you raise your hand? One mistake.
No, I didn't. Sorry.
Okay.
Sorry, madam.
Brother Sai Satish, it's a
After
question.
you, sister. Yeah.
Just a question to you and Brother Aruna. You guys have lived seeing the Lord walking, talking to you guys. You never had doubt? Or how did you overcome the doubts when he was right beside you, talking to you? You're seeing him, his discourses, listening to him, living in that atmosphere, the energy he was radiating. You guys never had doubts? And how did you overcome those? Sorry, I'm putting you on the spot, both of you. Sorry.
Sai Satish, you want to go?
Okay. So, okay. For my personal note, I joined from the primary school sisters. So for me, actually, the relationship became more like Swami was a nice person to have around, because he would give us a lot of chocolates, a lot of ice creams, and whenever you're around Swami, you would get lots of goodies. That's how the relationship started off. But as it went, like, Swami would always tell this to us, like, when you're in primary school, you're literally beautiful children, and slowly when you grow into higher secondary school and then come to institute, he would say the monkey mind comes into picture. So with Bhagawan, when we were around Bhagawan, what I have many times when Swami, like couple of times when Swami has told certain thing to me, I have told, no, Swami, that is not the case. I have had that foolish audacity to say that. But then when I saw things unfold, in my life to this day, I can say with conviction that every word that Swami has uttered has come to pass the way he told me. So in terms of when you're saying the doubt, it was not from the doubt part of the thing, but more like questioning Swami, because it was a very good friend, a mother, a father, that kind of a relationship. So in terms of the questioning part was more like directly asking how you would approach a parent with a question, that kind of a thing. And of course, there would be doubts in certain scenarios, but it was more of a learning curve. And Swami has always given that, like, if I can use a story, here there was a disciple, the Guru gives him a piece of paper. He says, just keep it with you and you'll be able to walk over the river. And this disciple is walking over the river, and he's in all awe or pleasantly surprised. He's walking over the river, and now he gets curious halfway through what is in that paper, because he's able to walk on water. And when he opens that paper, he just sees the word Rama written there, and his mind comes and says, oh, that's all. That's all. And then immediately at that time when he says that's all, he sinks. So it is like whenever in front of Bhagawan, when the mind comes, because when the mind comes, the doubt comes. That is, I'm applying my mind to something, the doubt comes. If I go with the heart, then there is no doubt. So in the presence of Bhagawan, when it is that heart to heart, then the direct connection is there, the love flows. When you apply mind and try to understand something what Swami is saying, from, of course, when you do it with the sincerity of sadhana to reach Bhagawan and stay connected, then it is different. But if it is more like I'm testing whether you know your subject well, then of course the outcome will become different. Because Swami has said, Samshayatma vinashyati, that is, doubting Thomas perishes, and Name Bhakta pranashyati, my devotee will never perish. So it is always moving away from Samshayatma vinashyati to Name Bhakta pranashyati. So it's always going with the heart and not applying the mind. And with Bhagwan's thing, whatever Swami says, it is just that complete acceptance and surrender and not putting the mind there and analyzing, if that helps. Sairam.
Thank you, Sai Satish. So I think I will try to address what Sister Shivani said, and hopefully Kalyani's question also get answered. See, the thing is, doubt, as Sai Satish has already said, comes only when the mind is operational. The mind is generally operational with an identification with the body or our little self. So the mind always evaluates everything based on what is in it for me. Why did I not get something of that sort? That's where doubt comes. Yes, when you are as we were all adolescents going into adulthood, Swami, mind will throw questions and there will be doubts. But the advantage, I think, at least I personally felt I have, was even if I had doubts about Swami, I would look to Swami for the answer also. The thing is, because it stemmed from something called, I would say, love. If you love the person and you have faith in the love of that person, or you have experienced it, nothing to beat that. That confidence that someone loves me, and as long as that is there, all doubts can be overcome. So doubts have come, but then as we pursue the searching for the answer to the doubt, we will come to realize that our doubt is because of limited understanding or a very narrow perspective of something. These are the two reasons why doubts come, but the only way to trump it is love. I think even in common human relationships, a husband and wife, if you start doubting the other person, everything's gone. How do you overcome? You overcome only through love. If you have love, that you will push aside the doubt and say, I don't care about this. I still love the person. So the same way, so love is the panacea for everything. That is why Swami gives so much importance to love. In whether it's spiritual relationship or even worldly relationship, even with friends, if you start doubting, the friendship is gone. But if you love the friend, even if they made some mistake, I will say, I will forgive you. We will move on. Then there is a chance of redemption. So doubt means the mind is at work, and we need to push it aside and try to rely on love. And then we can ask ourselves, how do we love Swami whom we are not interacting directly? I think that's another question which everyone has to deal with. That's through experience, that is through anubhava. I would say you have faith, you have an idea of love, but through life experiences you develop that this person has helped me this way, this person has helped me that way. So Swami, personally, I think for me, even physically, in many ways, financially, in many ways, emotionally, in so many ways, he had shown so much love and caring that it was easy to overcome, and I think that's his grace. But I look at my parents, who had devotion. That was just, you can say, blind love. But that love saw them through. So I think love is the only solution to overcome doubt, and persisting in searching for the solution for the doubt, with holding on to love, I think is the only way to overcome. That's I don't know whether it's a good answer or not, but that's the answer which works for me, Saira.
Anna, I'll just add to what you said. I'm sorry. I'm so tempted to come in
Yes.
when you told about this love thing. So I was just listening to one of our brothers talk, and it was very. He happened to be with Swami, and he was serving Swami in close quarters that time, and so he wanted to tell Bhagawan actually he's not having that kind of devotion for Swami, but it came out as Swami, naku మీ పైన అంత శ్రద్ధ లేదు. He said like, Swami, I don't have that much shraddha towards you, but what he meant is the like devotion. Swami just looked at this boy and Swami said, prema unda, is love there? Said Swami, prema undi, yes, love is there. Prema unte chalu, if love is there, it is enough. So I'm like just reinforcing what Anna also was mentioning, that if that love is there, I think any doubt that comes will just get burnt in that kind of ananya bhakti, because I think ananya bhakti, another thing would be parama prema or something of that. It means the same thing, having that immense love for the Lord, so much so that nothing else exists, like what Radha had or Gopikas had, that kind of a feeling. I think that will help burn away any doubt that comes along.
Yeah, just sorry.
No, I'm just asking Auntie Mani, how can we forget to hear? She has a direct contact with Bhagwan too, if she wants to add something to our...
Shivani,
Da.
my voice is breaking.
Oh, okay.
Please
Okay,
excuse
sorry,
me.
Auntie.
Next week I'll definitely share. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Sorry.
See the some of these greatest devotees, though they went through lots of troubles, their love for Krishna didn't diminish. You can look at the Pandavas, the type of suffering they went through. They just loved Krishna. If you look at Prahlada, who didn't even see Krishna, he only knew the name, and he just loved Narayana. And the amount of troubles he went through, nothing affected that love for the Lord. He didn't, because of that, there was no doubt whether I will survive the punishment of my father or not, whether I will, I will live to see another day. He did nothing bothered. He just had total love for the Lord.
Brother,
So,
for the love also, you have to have a grace. You just cannot love. Okay. When love is there, then the doubt won't be there. But in order to get the love towards God, that I think we have to, that's only by grace of Lord, right? Thank you.
grace, actually, they are sister for everyone, just like the
Yes.
sunlight.
Yes.
It is just that if we shut the door, we may not have contact with it. That's it.
So develop love, we have to work on it. We have to have that. So that
Keep
is,
the doors.
love is the base, but love comes, then no doubt comes. But to develop the love, we have to work on. Thank you, Sai.
Sarah, Uncle. I'm just trying to understand, so in our day-to-day life, say you have the opportunity to go and meet up with a friend, and that that will bring you some sort of joy, but maybe you're not going to be thinking of Swami during that time. It's not going to be centered around Swami. So you can say, okay, well, I have faith that spending my time with the Lord will grant me more joy than doing this activity. So then I guess your faith has to be strong enough that you can actually do that. And then, but I guess if you keep going further and further, then it's then should I have faith that even rather than eating this morsel of food, just relying on the name of the Lord, that should give me the strength that I need to survive or to live, or if it not to live, or every day I go to work, I'm relying on my own strength to make money and provide for myself, why not just rely on the Lord and know that he can provide for me better than I can provide for myself? So I just feel like it goes down this tunnel where, and then I'm just wondering, like, oh, like, am I depriving myself of just like small happinesses that just may make your mind more cheerful, or like allow you to kind of go through life?
A good question, Kalyani, but I will ask, you are going to spend time with a friend. That means you have spent time with a friend before and you had good time. Okay, at some point you met that friend for the first time. Okay, and spent some time. And then that time was good. So you want to recreate that situation again. Same thing with God. The problem is we have to take the time to spend time with the Lord, quality time. And if we get a taste of that time together, then we will relive that. So I think it's ultimately that, then it's a matter of choices also. Two people call you at the same time. Which one do you choose?
1, 6, 4,
Which
7,
one you would choose?
5, 2, 6, 1, 3, 1, 5.
Which one would you choose? It's the same thing with God also. World is also calling, God is also calling. Which one do we choose? Do we give up? See, choice means one is always given up. So, I'm not saying that, you should give up the world. But once a person knows this is superior, the choice becomes very easy. It is just that I think initially we have not spent time with God and developed a taste for company with God. I think that's the fundamental problem for all of us. If we got a good taste of that company, then we will always choose that. When the world is calling, we'll go the way God is calling. I'm just talking about Ananya Bhava, okay? Then you will say, we are not there yet. Until the thing is, at some point, we have to sacrifice some time from the world and devote it to the Lord and develop a taste. This is what sages have done. This is called satsangatve nisangatva. So that satsanga means spending quality time with God, allocating time and spending 100% with him or with her, whichever way, if it's politically. Sairam, Sister Shivani.
Sairam, do I have my hands up? It should not be.
You just raised it, sister.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Okay.
Just to add what you said, I'm just thinking, develop that love. I'm thinking when you develop that love and when God get used to of that love, he will make sure nobody's disturbing. No friend will call you, nothing will happen. No world will be calling you. Nothing will happen because he wants that attention too. So I guess he's attention seeker. It's just we have to make him used to of that.
Very possessive God, is it? Yes, Sister Aruna, you.
Sairam, brother, before we study, wherever we go, if we keep our mind set with the Lord, you have to do your worldly duties and spending time. So this is up to your state of mind, how you're dealing, right? You always focus, then you can spend your time with your friend too. Yes, that's how I will look at it. I'm just adding. Thank you, Sairam.
Sairam, sister. Just Brother Dasan.
Yes, Sairam, brother. That the first question is how you develop the love with the Lord. When you read the Leelas about the Lord, when you enjoy that one, then without knowing you get the love from the Lord. Then beginning, you're going to have some experiences when you go through the difficulties. Then you have with the doubts, you ask some, and he will prove that one. A lot of people, everyone have experiences. That is the reason we are holding to the Lord's feet, because in the faith and the patience, saburi and shraddha is the important. Once you have experiences, the love is going to grow. That when you come to the friends, you have to be careful with the friends. Look at if we take Mahabharata, Karna knows about what is dharma, because he went and surrendered to the wrong people, and he fall into the different category. So if your friends are very good, there's no harm in you are just getting the good quality time and everything. But always remember the God. Thank you, Saira.
Sairam, brothers and sisters, Swami also said, see the divinity in everyone. And maybe several weeks ago, we also discussed about God may come and interact with us through the human being too, or it could be with any other mode too. So if we think ourselves that only I would interact with the God and my 100% time is with the God only, we may reject or we may ignore other things. So maybe God also may be thinking that maybe we are away from our maybe duties and responsibilities, and the that's what I am thinking about Sister Kalyani's question about the if someone they really wants to speak to us for a particular reason or something, if we deny them, okay, I don't want to waste my time in the worldly things, and I just want to focus my the significant amount of time with the God. The I am I am debating myself, is that really good, or maybe we have to see, okay, I will take this as maybe God is calling me to I will quickly they take up that call and see whether my help or something is really needed for them. Some sort of maybe judgment in there. Practically, I am thinking that whether we have to ignore most of the things when we move towards the God, uh, when we move in the spiritual ladder, or whether that sort of thinking I am having, that maybe Sister Aruna also mentioned that see the divinity, if we ignore every single think thinking that we are moving in the spiritual ladder and everything else is going to disturb us, whether that sort of thinking, whether that is good for our spiritual upliftment, that sort of question I have had in my mind. Thank you, Sairam.
Thank you very much, sister. I think you are referring back to what Auntie Shivam asked some time back. There is 7.1 billion, that's a number I think Auntie gave, population. Everyone is busy in the world. If you ask everyone, they will say we are doing our duty. Everyone will say we are looking after somebody. So how does that connect to Ananya Bhava? Is the question. If everyone is already doing that, then why should Krishna come and say this? Because all of us, everyone in this 7.1 billion, Swami has given the answer here itself, A Manava has what is called Dehatma Buddhi, Deha Bhava or Jiva Bhava. As long as we identify ourselves as the body or as a jiva, we think we have duty, we have to look after. All such thoughts will come to be. So the thing is, but what Swami is advocating is that we should develop what's called Brahma Eva Bhava. That is identification with the Brahman. Once you identify with the Brahman, things, whatever happens, things will naturally happen. You don't have to even lift your hand up, is my understanding. Because if we think, oh, this body has to go and help, means it's a problem. All this concept of my duty, this what we refer, we should read Dharma Vahini actually, where Swami will say the original dharma is Atma Dharma, identification with the Atma. Other way, only on top of that, all the other duties come into being. So, but Swami is here talking about that Atma Bhava, because the devotee will not do anything. He will just sit and say, the Lord is taking care of it. Why should I do the work? So Swami himself has given this one as a story. Maybe I will tell that story. Apparently, once Birbal and Akbar went to forest. They were tired, and um, Akbar said, "Let's go look for some food." Birbal said, "Why should we? Will just I will just I will pray." So apparently, Birbal sat down, and Birbal is the minister. He sat down and he started praying. Akbar got fed up. Akbar is the king. He said, "This fool, what can I do? Let me go find some food." And he went and he found some food and he ate it. Then he said, "This poor Birbal, he'll be starving and praying. He is not going to get any food. Let me take some for him." So he brought some food and came to Birbal and woke him up and said, "Look here, get up now. Here's some food, eat. What's the point? You prayed, food didn't come. I brought it." What did Birbal say? Birbal said, "My prayer worked. Food has come to me without me any effort." So this is a story told by Swami. So what I am saying is, the one who has devotion knows that I am not the doer, the Lord is the doer. If he wants me to do, he'll make me do. But, it is him doing the work. I think, we can go around. But ultimately, I think we are discussing, see, all these concepts which we are discussing is about Ananya Bhava, which is the ultimate state of devotion. We are all in different states, and that's where God has given, offer your action as worship, see the divine in the other person. One day, you tend to see, then you end up seeing. So it's all different stages of development. But what we are discussing is the ultimate state. Okay, it's a theoretical understanding of that state. How do we get to that point is what we are discussing. We are all in different stages wherever we are. We have worldly duties, but let's offer it to the Lord. Let us try to see divinity in the other person. So these are different stages, but we should not be complacent that this is ultimate. But Krishna is saying the ultimate is Ananya Bhava. So he's holding that up as the goal for us to reach. So I think that's in a nutshell. I will stop here. It's 4:24. If anyone has something to say, please share, please. Saira.
Uncle, just a clarification. So that ultimate state of Ananya Bhava, so like at that point, a person wouldn't not even go for a job or go to anything. They would not even eat, would they? Like, because I mean,
they don't need the food, I think. We don't know. Otherwise, God will have to feed them. It's that kind of devotion. Gopis have supposed to have experienced it. Their body will be burning, but they don't know that the body is burning. That is a level of identification with the divine. Because they are not worried about the body, because they are not the body. So they are not the body. I think that identification is completely different. I think we have to. I think so. Krishna is holding it up to strive to that stage, I guess. It's very theoretical, I guess.
Beautiful satsang, beautiful.
So if everyone is okay, I think we will spend the next 1 week in Ananya Bhava and come back again to discuss. After all, it's Krishna's words, Swami's words. Spending time will get our hunger more and more, and maybe our earnestness in devotion also increases. And with those words, we will close the session today. Saira. Om Samastaloka Sukhino Bhavantu. Samastaloka Sukhino Bhavantu. Samastaloka Sukhino Bhavantu. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Jai Saira.
Jai Sai Ram.
Thank you, Sairam.